Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining today's webinar. We are looking to maximize efficiency and reach with DSP today. I'll teach you a little bit more about that. So we'll be covering some common challenges, the advanced features that XMARS provides, and really how to streamline this DSP experience to better optimize your campaigns for superior results. We'll start with just some introductions for myself and Cadence.
Yeah, nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Cadence. I'm the Senior Advertising Manager at XMARS. My main duty at XMARS is managing my clients' campaign using Amazon Sponsor and, of course, DSP that we will go through today. I have around 8 years of experience in Amazon advertising, and I've been managing clients with annual budget ranging from $1 million to $50 million. Working with my friend like Philips, Anchor, and Greenlight. But what I really love about Amazon ad is there's never a perfect answer. That's always have room for me to do A/B testing and of course learning too. With AMC and DSP today, we can go beyond keyword and implement even more granular targeting. I'm very excited to share my insights with you all today, and feel free to jump into the chat with any question or ideas too.
Awesome. Thanks, Cadence. My name is Sunny Panu. I'm Senior Ad Ops Manager here at XMARS. I've also been in the e-commerce space for some time now. I've worked with brands of all sizes, budgets of all sizes, using Amazon Vendor and Seller Central, and really specializing within sponsored ads, DSP, and of course, everybody's favorite AMC. My favorite part about working here at XMARS, really being able to scale brands using the tools that were provided through XMARS. I really think it's a cutting-edge tool, and overall, it really helps to, like Cadence said, do a lot of those testings and learnings and really turn your information into actionable insights. So just a little brief intro on sort of what XMARS is. We're a next-gen ad tech company. We have over 400 employees, 10 global offices, and more than 8,000 stores using our marketing solutions. What we try to do is transform Amazon advertising with cutting-edge AI, giving sellers, brands, agencies unprecedented control over their ad campaigns. We really like to maximize return on ad spend with this continuous AI optimization, comprehensive data analytics, and predictive modeling. What we offer are 8 AI action spaces, and we have over 1,000 active AMC instances currently, the highest among Amazon partners. What we really try to deliver are consistent sales growth and a competitive edge while optimizing your performance and really driving growth on Amazon and beyond. And before we jump into the discussion, we obviously want to just gauge your level of experience with DSP in a quick poll. So make sure to give your poll answer, and we can sort of kind of circle back at the end to really better understand who we're dealing with or who our audience are. So, Cadence, when it comes to Amazon advertising, DSP obviously plays a very valuable role, but it does pose some difficulties. I know in the past, even getting into advertising some years ago, sponsored ads was a little bit more user-friendly. I would say a little bit more straightforward. But DSP, definitely has some challenges. So what are some challenges that you've come across using sponsored ads?
This is a very great question. I always joke with my client that inflation isn't just happening in our daily life. It's actually also happening and hitting Amazon too. I feel like recently, especially pandemic is coming, and then in the last couple of years after COVID, a lot of sellers have noticed their ACOS has gone up very aggressively compared to the past couple of years. The biggest reason, I'm sure many people probably would also notice, is there's a competition is increasing, which driving up CPC. But at the same time, there's lots of new sellers running the Amazon competition. They either bidding the CPC in a very aggressive and high level just for like gaining a lot of visibility, winning those sponsored placement. But also there's some seller also kind of like they prioritize their margin goal, keep lowering the price, launching lots of deal, keep catching people attention to. Which this is like make it even harder for you to win this conversion. In the same time, we would need, like really need to like bidding up the CPC to increase the visibility on Amazon search.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Those are definitely some pain points that I've been experiencing. And the thing is this happens to brands of all sizes because there's always new competitors coming into the market. And, obviously they want to win on price, but sometimes that CPC cost really gets driven up. But I do think that DSP definitely will help solve some of those problems. One area I would say would be frequency caps. So limiting the amount of times a shopper is shown a specific ad so you can really bring more unique visitors to the forefront. Also, there's negative targeting based on behaviors. So someone who's viewed and not purchased, you're able to negate those people and really hone in on who you're targeting. And that's just not possible on sponsored ads. This helps drive those new to brand shoppers because we can negate someone who's maybe already purchased and using longer look back windows that isn't available through sponsored display. So it really shows that DSP has that value there.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you mentioned. The other big advantage of DSP, though, I think is the very important part is DSP is using cost per thousand impression model, which we call CPM. It's usually cheaper than cost per click on sponsored ad. Just need to we can imagine that for every single click through the sponsored ad, we paying around like $1 to even like $3 or $5 per one click. But with DSP for the cost per like CPM model, we're like measure those traffic by impression. So as long as you expose 1,000 times, we're actually paying the fixed like cost per 1,000 impression fee. That will be, I feel like it's more like cost efficient compared with like CPC model. And then it's great for like driving awareness, driving eyeball, instead of like eating our budget really quick by the like CPC model compared with sponsored ad too. I do think DSP offer a very great way to reach those in market shopper and drive them down to conversion. This approach really helping us to connect with more potential customer while maintaining a pretty good balance than we'll only rely on sponsored ad.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Sunny, it looks like we both agree DSP have lots of great benefit. However, I know many people are pretty new to DSP today. Maybe could you like share some like downside of using Amazon DSP? What are some common challenge that the brand usually face when they're using DSP?
Yes, that is a great question. So using the DSP console, the native DSP console, I've been using it for some years now. I definitely noticed there's a lot of repetitive steps that take a lot of time. If I were to just mention a few, definitely when you're launching new orders at the beginning of the month or when you have to swap out different creatives, those are all areas where they take up a majority of your time, and we all know time is money, right? And the nice thing is XMAR's DSP definitely addresses a lot of those common challenges when we manage those DSP campaigns by really streamlining and automating those key processes. So we have AI optimizations, which take the heavy lifting off your plate by automating bid, budget, and audience optimizations 24/7, right? Because we can't be awake at all hours of the day. So we definitely need to rely on a little helping hand from the AI side. And this means your campaigns are being fine-tuned without any manual intervention, but you are able to override that and offer your manual tweaking to those campaigns. But definitely having AI there, I think, just makes it so that you have a personal assistant at your service. XMARS, it also simplifies campaign management with smart creation and bulk editing features. So as I was mentioning, if you wanted to set up, modify, or manage different line items or orders all from one view, it really saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And then again, I definitely feel the pain. I still remember the day that I was in an agency without Xmart. There's no book creation feature for line item, which makes setting up a campaign pretty inefficient. For example, at the end of the month, I always have to manually update the new monthly budget or before and after sales event, remove or adding those creative. These are pretty simple tasks, but they're taking me over an hour just for one client. Now imagine working in an agency where you probably will need to manage like 5 to 10 or even more client at once. It really adding up the time, and then it's really like need to like taking lots of time, not only for updating, but also like doing those like QA and checking that will be really doesn't let the advertising manager to like have more like insights or like to focusing on more like efficient or insight part on on other brand too.
Yeah, no, I agree. Saving that time gets put into a different, your time gets put into a different bucket, right? So now instead of doing these sort of tedious tasks, you're able to focus on strategy or think about big picture. Those are areas where obviously our thought leadership makes the most sense. And I think, rather than being tied up doing these sort of tedious little tasks, it definitely frees us up to help a brand out on a more broad level as well. So I know I've been hearing a lot about AI cadence. It's such a buzzword, especially nowadays in the Amazon advertising space. Uh, is AI going to take our jobs? Because working in the agency space, we've been doing these manual optimizations for some years now. And the thing is, it's very time consuming and stressful. So what are your thoughts?
Sunny, I totally get your concern about AI possibly taking over jobs. Like, I know people are talking about it. I mean, it can feel pretty daunting, but I really think we should look at the way to find a good balance in how we work with AI. Unlike I mean, as a human, we cannot be on computer or call 24/7 to optimize campaign, pulling data super fast, or learn new skill overnight within a very short time. But there's where AI come in. It can help us lay down a solid foundation, give us a breathing room to learn, monitor, and making those adjustments. Plus, we can always guide and tweak the AI using our human smart to make everything more efficient and effective. I always tell my client, I don't see AI as a competitor. I see it as a partner. We're in this together, working toward our goal. And I do think Xmars really provide those visibility for those people who's maybe still learning DSP or you have experience on DSP already. If you're new to DSP, Xmars AI already setting up those like best practice for you based on our advertising manager have learned. But if you are like getting some experience under your like belt on DSP, Xmars also letting you to pick and choose which task that you want the AI to handle it for you too. So I don't see AI maybe we're completely like replacing a job. They're like finding a good balance to like working with AI. This is something that we should explore.
Nice. Okay. That means my job is safe for now, at least. But no, I totally agree. I think the nice thing about XMARS AI within our platform is really being able to, whether you're a beginner or whether you're an advanced user, you're able to pull the different levers at your own leisure. So you're not sort of stuck with a one size fits all approach. Instead, you can cater it to how granular you want to get, or maybe if you do want to let AI do a lot of the heavy lifting, that's definitely also available. Actually, interestingly enough, I was talking to a lot of people at Amazon Accelerate last week. They wanted to sort of start their DSP journey, as soon as possible. And obviously, we know October big deal days are coming up next week. And I think a lot of brands and sellers, the sort of vibe that I got was that they worry about the time it takes to transition their DSP entity to a new platform, right? Because maybe they have an existing platform, or maybe they need an entirely new seat, in general. So this definitely can pose a big problem. But what do you think, Haynes, in terms of a solution?
Yeah, I do think that time flies. Prime Day is coming in 6 days. So if you ask me this question without using Xmarks, I think it definitely would be difficult to complete everything, including like strategy, budget planning, and also setting up all the DSP component. But I think while like I know Xmarks is existing, knowing that Xmarks could be helping us to simplify all the stuff for users who are already using DSP, they can just simply roll into their existing campaign for Xmarks to managing through AI. But for those people, if they're new to DSP, maybe even though you don't have any DSP experience or knowledge, it's easier for you to use our XMAR Smart Creation to create DSP campaign in 15 to 30 minutes. So we still have time for you to like test and also launch those campaign before Prime Day, and then after Prime Day, based on those experience, we can working and then learning with AI to see what kind of like granular or threshold that you wanted to adding that to further improve your performance and then getting some like learning to get ready for Black Friday and Cyber Monday in a month.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that is maybe one of the biggest sort of pain points when it comes to wanting to launch or start your DSP journey is there's so many different factors and things that you have to sort of put the legwork in first, and that's really where I think XMARS AI helps ad managers like us to sort of share the load and not make it so that it's so much pressure on us. Instead, we're more focused on our overall performance.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Awesome. So Cadence is going to show us a little demo of XMAR's DSP.
Yeah, why don't I share my screen now? Okay. Before I jump into demo, I also have another question for you, Sunny. Could you tell me like what is your tedious step whenever that you create DSP campaign? What kind of like action or the step that you think like most challenging, most like tedious that you wish there's a person to help you to complete?
Yeah, that's an easy one. I feel like we touched on it a little bit already. Definitely creating audiences. And this is, I guess, the sort of backbone of DSP is your audience targeting, right? Who are you targeting and what sort of different factors are you weighing into who are those audience including? So those are very time consuming and repetitive steps. That I definitely think that I would like to reduce if I was not using XMARS.
Yeah, I totally feel your pain. I think every time when I create audience on Amazon without Xmarks, even though it's the same sets of ASIN or those targeting, but if they're using different like targeting behavior or a different lookback window, we generally need to like copy and paste the same ASIN list on Amazon Native Console over and over to customize the lookback window one by one. It probably like taking us an hour to like build those like full audience. But with Xmars, very easy. We can simply like giving those data for Xmars and then let Xmars AI to helping us to create those audience. The first step when we're building a DSP campaign on Xmars, we will need to like create an ASIN group. There's two purposes why we need to create ASIN group. First, when we like adding our own brand ASIN, the first purpose is letting our DSP auditor know which ASIN that we wanted to track in, so that on the DSP we will be able to see two different metrics. One is ad attributed, the other will be the total sales of your whole brand. The other purpose why we want you to like get those ASIN in here is Xmars AI will actually helping us to create those audience based on like different lookback window, promoted product viewed, and also product purchase in different lookback window, including 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and even 365 days on that too. So that we don't need to copy and paste the same ASIN list, custom those like different lookback window, go over the same tab over and over. Keep scrolling down, we will see Xmarks will love to gain our knowledge on the product. We will be like asking you to provide those main competitive product and general competitive product and also related products. For the main competitive products, I always recommend my client putting those ASIN that you think you will have a higher chance to win. Maybe because the brand like reputation are similar, the brand culture, or maybe the star rating or price is very similar than the ASIN that you're targeting or advertise. General competitive product, I always recommend my client to increase, maybe include around like 50 to 100 ASIN, just to like include those ASIN maybe to target those people in the market, but they haven't looked or haven't purchased your brand before. I know for keywords, sometimes it could be very competitive to winning the top of search, but by adding those ASIN under like main competitor and general competitive product, it can make sure us to target anyone who actually in the market of your product, but maybe they just haven't find you through search. And the good news is here, we don't necessarily need to compete the CPC on search. We can also like ping in those ASIN in here, letting the system know which ASIN that you wanted to target their shoppers through DSP. Related product, I always like see this as more like a category adjacent cross-sell strategy. For example, if I'm selling TV today, maybe I will wanted to target some like bigger furniture like bed frame, or like
Like a TV mount,
yeah,
you know?
definitely. Yeah.
Mhm.
So because based on the behavior that maybe our brand like doing the research, we know that targeting this kind of like category adjacent product could be potential to building those awareness to those like potential shoppers too. So we have like three different layer in here for the user and then the brand to like ping in here, and then further like having it at XMars AI, we can add in like different layer on frequency cap and budget to target those potential shoppers.
Awesome.
Yeah. Once we educating our AI, giving those data to an AI, then we can go back to the main page AI managed campaign to start doing our DSP. Clicking smart creation, clicking DSP in here. The first step we will need to like select which advertise ASIN that we wanted to do. For you today, I know like Sunny Prime Day is coming. You might have like multiple category or multiple ASIN group that you wanted to create DSP order. The good news is when you're using XMars, you don't have to like doing the smart creation over and over. You can simply click the plus smart in here, click the Bluetooth speaker, just an example, to create two set of ASIN together. Just an example for potato ricer, maybe I think for November, I would love to give around 10K for potato ricer. But for Bluetooth speaker, we all know like Black Friday, Prime Day, like electronic, like always is the like very like huge focus on sales event. So maybe I will have a slightly higher budget, doubling down like 20K for Bluetooth speaker. Then I can easily to just like putting those like budget in here. Once you see like all the A's in here is correct, and then once you confirm the budget is good, then we can click in the next page. Here we will be like selecting the AI goal. Suddenly you will see there's two different AI goal in here. One is drive growth, the other is drive new traffic increase. Let me tell you the differences between these two different goals. For drive growth, we will want to prioritize order, drive more sales, which means AI will be more prioritized with our like retargeting shoppers. For those shoppers probably land on our page, bought our brand before, because we know this shopper, they're our brand loyal customer, there is a higher chance for them to convert them to increase the sales opportunity. However, if you have a new brand or if you have a new product, you more value about driving new traffic increase. You wanted to target people who maybe haven't purchased your brand for a while or they never purchase, never feel your product, then you can select the drive new traffic increase just for driving more new to brand traffic for your product. And I wanted to call on here. I know like Prime Day is coming. I think during like lead up period, we always recommend client to start with like drive new traffic increase, and then right on like Prime Day or the day that you wanted to convert, more like focusing on conversion funnel, you can always come back to the same page and then switching your goal here to like manually like to like tailor your goal based on the calendar and then based on your brand goal.
Yeah, that's, I think, a huge game changer because you're not stuck with one setting. You're really able to prioritize whether it's traffic or orders based on when we are, what time of the month it is, whether it's lead up or during or even lead out. So that's a huge game changer.
Yeah, totally. And then once we're done with this ASIN, we can easily to collect and then open another to like add those details to. For example, for Bluetooth speaker, I want it to be more conservative. I can like do like drive growth. We don't have to like stick with the same objective. It's really, really flexible, really based on the budget and then based on the goal. And then you can also already seeing that the first step that we letting AI know what is our monthly budget. AI also do a quick calculation, letting us know what is those daily budget for this campaign, so that we would get an idea for how we should like plan our strategy, how we should like come up with those like goal and those secondary objective in here too.
Yeah, that's actually interesting. I wanted to ask, so what if, like, let's say I'm new to DSP, right? And I don't know what the benchmark is for my primary objective. How is XMARS populating that number?
Yeah, this is a very great question. So XMARS actually use those like category benchmark data. For example, once you're like adding those like Bluetooth speaker A's in there, XMARS will be kind of like analyze those data based on our category benchmark data from our backend to come up with the ROAS number as the starting point. Once we have some data or once we have some learning here, if we wanted to tighten up the ROAS go in here, again, you can always come back to the page to edit the ROAS. But without any experience on DSP or without knowing any like the performance historical data, XMARS will using those category benchmark data here for our starting point.
Wow, that's a big help. Definitely, if you're new, you maybe don't have that sort of data available, so that's a huge help there.
Yeah, totally. And then going to the next page, it will be the funnel. I'm sure people probably would not surprising to seeing this funnel: awareness, consideration, conversion. Always call it like the marketing funnel in here. So you will see based on the goal that we select, based on the daily budget, XMarts actually recommend you can like target consideration and also conversion shopper in here. Again, if you have experience or you have specific goal, you only wanted to target conversion, you can easily to check out this one. Or if you wanted to use your based on your daily budget, you wanted to go a little bit further to awareness, same thing, you can also like check the box in here too. So we make everything very flexible, but in the same time, you will also see XMart system already like adding those like setting for you. This data is really just based on our advertising manager best practice experience too. Just an example, you're seeing consideration. We recommend you using starting frequency cap at 3 times per 1 day. Conversion, we wanted to do like 2 times per 8 hour, just to reminding our brand shoppers. But if you have experience, there is the everything in here, everything is adjustable. However, if you're really new to DSP, you really wanted to see how XMart's like best practice work, you can simply click the next page to like start with this plan too.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a big help. Similarly, if we don't aren't familiar with frequency caps, I love that they kind of give you a sort of guideline, and then you can go ahead and adjust it based on how your performance is tracking.
Yeah, totally. And then the other call out is maybe some like user they mentioned, oh my God, I don't have an image, I don't have a banner to like ready for DSP. But don't worry, because on DSP, Amazon DSP, it does have an AI like banner. You can just let the system know which ASIN that you wanted to advertise. So even though without an image, you can just use the creative ad called Red Ad, responsive ad for advertising. So those banner probably will look pretty simple. It's usually just a white background, plug in your product image, but it's definitely really also can able to like capture those attention on like people who shop on Amazon and on that day too. So just a quick tips, if you don't have any image, it's still able for you to like creating DSP today. Just simply open up and then check Red Ad and then check off image ad so that you don't need to have any image banner to prepare for the DSP campaign.
Yeah, I love that the rec ad, the responsive e-commerce creative. It just shows the picture of the whatever your main image is on your PDP. So, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. That's what people want to see. And if you have a deal or a sale running, it'll also show the strike through price. So that's also a nice added bonus.
Yeah, totally. And then we are going to the audience page. So looks like probably many people using like Xmas for Prime Day. So there's a little
Yeah,
delay.
the AI is thinking it's
Yeah.
cooking up what's next.
Yeah. Let's give it another minute.
Yeah, so just kind of rehashing a little bit what we saw before.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. There's some technology that sometimes that we just like couldn't expect like what would happen. So I'm glad we able to like go on the screen. This is the audience like slide in here too. So Sunny, you might be curious, or some audience maybe you're curious. How come if we open those audience, some audience that maybe will have a blue dot, some doesn't? The reason behind this is because for those audience with a blue dot, which means Xmars actually have some recommendation for you today. So just an example, when you wanted to see what Xmars recommended, you can click the pencil mark in here, and then you will see Xmars already helping you to adding those audience. Just a quick example in here for potato racers, Xmars already helping us to create a competitor audience. We wanted to target some competitor audience who look for potato ricer in the last 30 days. But in the same time, Xmars already helping us to negate the audience, to exclude those people who view our brand in the last 90 days, and then also to exclude those people who purchase our brand in the last 365 days. So make sure that we're not reaching out to those people who already buy the product, make our budget become more efficiency, and then also only targeting those people who still have a need in this product. And then at the same time, if you maybe at the brand you wanted to be more aggressive to target like a broader audience, or you might wanted to tighten up the audience because maybe some product you think people are generally have a shorter consideration time. Just an example, based on the data, you think the people generally maybe take around like 7 days or 14 days to purchase. Giving on that, very easy. You can just simply click add audience in here, find the lookback window that you prefer. For example, for this case, I wanted to target people maybe most recent. They look through our product in the last 7 days. Then I simply click this one. Then you will see after you click one click, you don't have to like rebuilding the audience. Xmars already like having those sets of audience here for you.
Wow. Yeah, that's the probably the icing on the cake, I think, is just having those audiences already created for you, not having to do any sort of research behind these large ASIN lists of competitors. Just once you upload them in the first page, now you have them ready to be launched. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
totally. And then the same time, browsing the like page in here, if there's any audience that you're curious what it is or you wanted to target, we can just simply like check the box in here to see what Xmars like recommended. Clicking the pencil mark in here, we can see for in-market audience, Xmars actually wanted to like target those people in fruits and vegetable because I think we wanted to advertise potato ricer at this stage. Xmars thinking those people, if they into those like grocery or those like kitchen item, they probably will be interested in your product to building some brand awareness. And also, we will also like recommend you to target those people who view your product recently. For this case, Xmart recommend you to target people who view your potato ricer ASIN in the last 30 days, but they haven't purchased in the last 90 days. Again, it's very similar as a competitor product view. If you have a different lookback window, you can easily to click add audience in here, clicking the product view here, just based on your preference and goal.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Especially being able to just toggle down and click the different look back windows. I think that's a great help.
Yep.
I also see that there's the Amazon Marketing Cloud, the AMC section as well. So what like that I think is just another added bonus to XMars is being able to create those custom audiences and launch them directly into your Amazon your XMars DSP campaigns.
Yeah, very great. I know for Amazon Marketing Cloud, they can even go beyond than like DSP audience. For example, we can targeting people who add to cart audience, and then also targeting to people who land on your page for multiple times. Make sure we separate those people, maybe only land on your page, and then with those like serious shopper that continue landing on your page multiple times too. So very great call out, Sunny.
Mhm.
Then here is a calendar. So very different than sponsor ad. For DSP, we like those budget actually is a flight budget, it's not a daily budget. Just to remember, I know like November Prime, like there is a Black Friday, there's a Cyber Monday. There's those days, maybe we will have a different budget. Just an example, maybe before those like lit-in period, we most likely wanted to spend more for like driving new to brand traffic. Then we wanted to spend more on consideration. That you can simply open the calendar in here, select the date range, and then put your ideal budget for that particular period. We all know like Black Friday will be on like 28, 29. So if you have a budget only for Black Friday, it's very simple that you can select the day range for like November 29 and then put those budget in here too. So that we were able to like have a monthly budget in November, but in the same time we can like break it down very granular to align with our promotion calendar and to align with those sales event too.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. I think a lot of brands are often concerned about overspending, leading up to these event days, and being able to just specifically have that budget for that day, I think is awesome.
Yeah. And then we're almost done. Very quick process. So the like second last like step will be like uploading your creative too. For existing DSP user, if you already have your like those banner in your accounts, you can simply like clicking the banner in here. The good news is we don't have to like clicking the creative one by one to know what it is. On Xmars, it actually is showing those preview banner here so that you can kind of like cross-checking to know, oh, is that the banner that you wanted to add it to this order too. However, for those people, if they're new to DSP or this is your brand new like DSP order, don't worry, you don't have to go back to the creative tab to upload it here to wait till the populate here. Simply clicking the create creative button in here, adding the creative, uploading the creative in here so that it will popping up in here too. And I know at the beginning, there's one tips is even though you don't have an image ad, you can simply use the red ad which called component in here. Once you click the component, click add creative, letting the system know which product, which ASIN that you wanted to advertise. If you have logo, if you have headline, you can add in here as well, but this is all this is optional. Those requirement will like ASIN will be the only requirement in here. But of course, if you're adding more like logo, headline, it just have more like component to driving consideration and engagement for your shoppers too.
Awesome.
Yeah. So clicking the last step, this is just the preview, letting you know like what is the budget, what is the daily like budget cap, if we don't want to like be overpacing in here, and then this is like just the preview. Again, once we launch here, we can always come back to the ad management here to add all the detail in terms of like frequency cap, your budget, and also creative. But for this part, I do think the most important part is like actually designing which like feature that you want AI to manage that for you too. I do think for people who new to DSP, this is optional. We can just let AI to launch the campaign and then wait probably like 2 weeks or a week to see those performance to decide which part that you feel more comfortable to let AI to manage it. However, if you have some experience on like DSP, you already know what is the good base fit, what is the good like maximum like CPM range in here. You can simply like adding the number in here, so that AI will be just following your requirement in here to helping you to optimize the campaign.
Nice.
Yeah. And then AI will actually doing more beside bid optimization. For budget optimization, I know for Amazon, we can they already have an automated like budget here, but that one is actually within the order level, within the line item. But with Xmars, if you have a consideration order, if you have a conversion order, once you open the budget optimization, Xmars will be actually helping you to allocate a budget, maybe from conversion to consideration, or first varizer from consideration to conversion, based on the goal, based on the recent ROAS performance that you selected. And then, for example, if some client, they might don't want AI to overspending on retargeting, or they don't want or AI to like overspending on like gaining new to traffic too. You can also letting Xmars to adding those granular in here, stopping AI to over allocating budget by percentage or by those fixed value.
Nice.
Yeah. At the same time, maybe Sunny, let me ask you one more question. How often do you like using those like audience overlap report on Amazon DSP?
Yeah, I would say as much as I can. Definitely, especially with larger budgets, there's always the opportunity of adding new audiences and even maybe taking out some underperforming ones as well.
Yeah, definitely. But the good news is for Xmars, we actually taking care of this part for you so that you no longer need to download those raw data to do like Excel pivot table to find those like good audience. Once you open the target harvesting by AI, very similar than like sponsor ad, Xmars will actually helping you to like reviewing those like audience overlap report to helping you to building those line item. In the same time, if you maybe have a pretty tight budget for the order, by continue adding some like new audience, maybe you have concern to like spread those budget too thin for each audience. You can just simply like check this like close this button to allow Xmars to pause and remove those underperforming line items to make sure your budget will be only use it for those audience that performing and have higher engagement.
Yeah, that's a big help
Yeah.
because definitely changing those audiences around sometimes can get tedious, especially when you have large orders with a lot of line items. But having the target harvesting, I think, is a time saver.
Yep, definitely. Yep, I was so excited when I seeing that. It definitely could save me a lot of time. Yeah. And then last but not least, I know for Amazon DSP, we always talk about like inventory, which means like on Amazon, off Amazon, frequency, which means like how many times that you want those shoppers seeing your banner, and also viewability too. Viewability would be something similar as like top of search, rest of search, and as search ad. So very flexible. If this is something that you want AI to manage for you, obviously you can check all the boxes in here. However, if you have some like granular like requirement goal, or you have some experience that you still wanted to working with AI, you don't want AI to do everything for you, you can simply like maybe check off the box if you wish that you wanted to manage that manually from your side too. Yeah. So again, Xmars provide those like very flexible option for you. Either if you feel comfortable to letting AI to manage everything, great. Like set giving those requirements for AI. However, if you still maybe comfortable, you wanted to adding some like human smart brain in here too. Everything in here you can just like adding those layer to make sure Xmars helping you to trending to the good direction too. All right. Once we click create, your campaign will be launched, and then that's it. Yeah, taking around like 15 minutes to 30 minutes to complete your first DSP order.
Wow, that goes to show really how quick and efficient that whole process is, which normally in the DSP console, would probably take, I would say, 2 to 3 times longer, by far. And if you have multiple orders, then you can just sort of start to multiply out how much time you'd be saving, just using XMARS, which, like Kaden said, took about 30 minutes to do. Awesome. Wanted to gauge the audience and see if there was any questions about what we have been sort of talking about and discussing. Let's just look. Cool. So, Kate, how can I get started with Amazon DSP?
Very simple. I think the best way to like working with us is contact our sales team. And then you can we will like schedule the demo too. And then at the same time, in our chat box, we already share the book demo link. So if anyone interested to learn more about our DSP AI like capability, feel free to click on our link in the chat box, and then we will be make sure to getting someone to approach you too.
Nice. Yeah, that's a very quick thing to do. Just click the link, go to our website, and request that demo so that we can give you the full version. Obviously, we just went through smart creation, but there's a load of other things that we could definitely take you through. And obviously, a lot of the different areas would take a little bit longer, but just wanted to be as cognizant of time as we could.
Yeah. One more question for you, Sunny. Maybe I know the audience here today probably they're pretty new to DSP. Can you like share some like number one recommendation to our audience today? Like when you first start DSP, what kind of like tricks or tips that you think they have to do it? They have to explore it.
Yeah, definitely. So I would say, especially the last sort of year and a half or 2 years, like we mentioned, AMC is at the top of everybody's mind. And I think that being able to utilize AMC through your DSP campaigns is going to be a game changer. And the nice thing with XMARS, you can create those custom audiences like we mentioned and directly activate them from the same platform. So that doesn't mean you have to use another third-party tool or, kind of go different areas, or even you don't have to be a coder and learn SQL in order to create those audiences. One sort of, I would say, tip or trick for especially coming up on this event day of Prime Big Deal Days would be to definitely try to obviously use those people, create those audiences of people who've added to cart and didn't purchase, people who viewed detailed page views and didn't purchase, but also maybe someone who is new to brand on the last Prime Day. And if they haven't purchased, or if they've if you want to cross sell those same people that were new to brand, those can all be custom audiences that you can create. And I think that that would just take your DSP performance to another level.
Yeah, good point. I do think like people always like heard DSP is a great tactic for building awareness, but I also wanted to like adding more context here. DSP actually is not also like doing like brand awareness. For those people, if they like new to DSP, the retargeting the audience is like very powerful because like we cannot control people. We'll be like keep searching the keyword, keep having that product in your mind too. But starting with like retargeting audience to target those people, maybe they land on your page recently but haven't purchased your brand or competitor brand, it's actually kind of reminding those people to see are they like interested, do they want to come back to purchase, just driving them from like awareness consideration down to conversion funnel too. So I often see people when they like using retargeting campaign, their ROAS will be like some like very very high chance that even will be like have a lot like higher ROAS than sponsor ad too, just because those people already have knowledge and are familiar with your product too. So I think to me, AMC building those like brand awareness is great, but don't forget there's a DSP also can able for us to like closing the loop for those people still in consideration period and achieve those like pretty high ROAS for us too.
100%.
Yeah. Let me ask you a last question. How does Xmars helping those like improve like reporting and visualization for Amazon DSP campaign?
Yes, that's a great question. So I would say when we're presenting our reporting, our data that we've sort of gathered over the course of a couple weeks, we are no longer sort of required to, do a lot of these manual tasks with Excel sheets and pivot tables. The nice thing with XMARS, you are able to have multiple filtering options. You can have this enhanced reporting and visualization through using custom labels to really analyze that campaign data across various dimensions. So looking to identify trends, insights, areas that you can continue to improve. I really think that it's easy to share too with your clients or your teams and really make collaboration that much smoother. Also, we have a thing called custom tagging, so we can really get really granular and custom tag and be able to sort of track and report on those specific line items in creative. So as we know, with event days coming up, maybe there's a specific holiday related creative or maybe a holiday related sale item. You're able to custom tag that as a maybe holiday item, and then you can really drill down to the details as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's great. Like definitely very powerful. Don't need to like download those raw sheets from Excel, pivot it. It's so easy to using Xmars, applying those filter and then finding the right answer to share to our client and our brand too.
Awesome. So I do think that we're pretty close on time. Just wanted to, yeah, just remind everybody, please visit xmars.com if you're interested to book a demo. And yeah, we would love to take you through and see what we got. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.